Hello, my darling viewers, and welcome back to Shakesyear. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often in his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. So that was sonnet number 18, and you probably know that opening line because everybody knows that opening line. Whenever anybody wants to pretend like they know poetry in a movie or something like that, they pull out, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" And it's interesting that this is sonnet number 18 and that it falls where it does, because again, there was speculation on who put the sonnets in this particular order, but this one does follow nicely all of the procreation sonnets that we've just had, because in those last couple procreation sonnets, we started to get this element of the fair youth will continue to exist through Shakespeare's poetry, through the beautiful lines. So this is almost like Shakespeare's taken a stab at writing a poem that will immortalize the fair youth, which I'm going to say he succeeded at that, since everybody knows this one. But he starts out, with the lovely comparison, the simile, the metaphor, which is better, you or a summer day? And then he's like, obviously you are, because you're prettier and you're more dependent. And then he spends the next 6 lines talking about how terrible the weather in England is, which I guess it still is just as bad as it was back then. Springtime can be rough with the winds destroying all the flowers, and summer's way too short, but sometimes it gets too hot, and then it gets cloudy, and then, all the pretty flowers just die anyway if they manage to survive all the crazy winds. But then Shakespeare says your beauty, your summer, your glory days are never gonna fade, and you're never gonna become less beautiful. And even when you're dead, you're gonna live on, because as long as people are alive and able to read poems, they have this poem that will immortalize you. So it's a continuation of the shift away from please procreate to let's find another way to make you live on forever. And it's perhaps successful because it's one of the most famous poems in the world. So it has immortalized this fair youth who nobody actually knows who the fair youth is. But yeah, that is sonnet number 18, and kind of fun to be doing maybe Shakespeare's most famous poem. I just happen to be recording this on Shakespeare's birthday, so it's oddly fitting to be filming this one today. But yeah, keeping people alive through poetry is a very romantic idea, even if the majority of the poem is talking about how bad British weather is. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for sonnet number 19. Mwah.